You are listening to the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network.
Wake up to the world you've been missing. Time to jump out of bed in the morning. No day, no life, now we're living. Can you feel it in the air that you're breathing? Time to show 'em what you're made of. Let's get back on track. Are you ready for a come on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Are you ready now? You're lifting off the ground. Welcome back. No coming down. Can you feel it all around? Welcome back.
Hello and welcome back to Super Mega Crash Beyond. I'm your host, Stephen White. With me, as always, my co-host, Lacey Finney.
Happy Monday. Yeah.
You got a surprise for me again.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
He doesn't know what's going on just yet, but you folks are smart because you've already seen the title. So you're probably aware of what's going on. I thought it would be fun today to test your knowledge of the Friday the 13th franchise.
Oh, okay.
So I found a couple of quizzes. Like, I'll admit right away, I've seen them all, but I don't know enough to know whether these are right or wrong or blah, blah, blah. So, like, don't at me with all of this. Hey, that question was phrased stupid. I don't know. I have seen them, but I did go through and found some sites that I thought had some fun little questionnaires on it. And we're going to see, because I know that's a franchise that I've heard that you do like.
Yes.
And have seen on more than one occasion.
Yes.
Probably. And all of them,
Yes.
to my understanding.
Yes.
Yes. So I thought it would just be fun. And then, of course, if you all are a big fan of the series as well, you play along at home and see how well you do. I did a couple of them just because I don't know how quick we'll blow through it or anything like that. But I did like last time where I just like put way more than I think we'll need just in case. And then we'll see how you did. But the couple of websites that I'm on, it's one of those where they'll ask like 10 questions. You put in the answer. And then at the end, I'll know whether we had them all right or wrong. Kind of like, I don't know, you did one kind of like that with video games or something where we had to wait till the end or something like that. So yeah, let's just see. The first one, though, that I picked out is from, it'll be like a hint. I'll tell you the title, at least, of the quizzes. For the victims of Friday the 13th. So This is all, these questions are supposed to be all about the victims throughout the series of the films. So not like one or two, the whole thing, supposedly. So let's see. So question 1 says, we all know that Alice decapitated Pamela with a machete. Mm-hmm. Can you name the only other death in the original film that incorporated the series' iconic weapon? And I can give you the 4 answers they have there, too, if you want to choose the multiple choice or if you just want to guess.
So the only other death in the film that used the machete.
Yeah, it says in the original film, that series' iconic weapon.
Okay, give me the options.
So
I feel like I know, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, no, that's fair. So the options, it's 4. So it's Jack, Claudette, a snake, Steve Christie.
Oh, snake.
Snake. We're putting in snake. What did you say at home, people? I think I know the answer to a couple of these because I played through it just so I could see.
Of course.
I didn't do well.
in saying that,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick with snake.
Stick with your gut instinct.
I remember the snake thing, but then because the other answer that I have feels like it could be correct too, but you don't technically see what stabbed that person.
Okay.
So I don't know if that would count.
You're not sure if that's the machete or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like it should be.
Well, was it one of the other 3 people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say you could eliminate it that way if it wasn't one of those 3, but.
No, it was definitely one of those people, and that again, I don't remember seeing the weapon. So
if you saw the weapon on the snake, then that's probably a good guess.
I feel like we did.
It's
because
the original
that was kind
film,
of the whole point of seeing it was being like, see, there's a machete, and that's why we're showcasing it now to show you that we have one here. Yeah,
like the intimidation factor of killing a snake in front of people.
I'm still going with snake.
Stick with snake. Let's do it. All right. I'm sorry. I missed that it said part 1. So I guess I didn't realize that they were putting in the parts, whatever. It says part 2. Okay, for this next question. After Jason had dispatched Alice for killing his mother, who was his second victim?
Give me options. I think I know, but give me options.
All right, so it's either Deputy Winslow, Scott Cheney, Vicky Perry, Crazy Ralph.
I'm going to have to say Crazy Ralph because I think for some reason it doesn't feel right, but at the same time it kind of does because I feel like he was already out and about killing or starting in his mumbo jumbo, and then that's why he was like one of the first ones to get attacked.
It's because we got rid of the crazy person right away.
Yeah. All right. See, I'm going to fail these so bad, man.
I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like with the multiple choice, it's probably ringing the bell and you're just second guessing it because I do that every time we're on a quiz, even if I think I'm fairly confident, where I'm just like, the pressure of it all. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know, or at least that's how my brain works. I'm just like, I don't know. All right. So question 3, it still says part 2. Who was the first victim that Jason killed with his favorite weapon, the machete?
Well, there's no. Is it? Was it? Damn it.
I mean, I could always just give you the choices too, because I know I would still want them. So it was either Mark Jarvis, Paul Holt, Vicky Perry, Scott Cheney.
Wait a minute. Is this in the second or third?
It said part 2 before the question, and it says who was the first victim that Jason killed with his favorite weapon, the machete.
So they reused some last names. All right. What I'm going to do, and I'm trying, because I didn't want to do any cheating.
No, you can't cheat. Yeah.
No, I don't want to cheat. But I'm trying to I want to look up the cast so I can get faces.
Oh, okay. That's
names.
fair. I feel like that's fair. Mark Jarvis, Paul Holt, Vicky Perry, Scott Cheney. So there was a Paul Holt if you were leaning towards that.
Okay, yeah. Mark was the one that I was thinking of.
So Mark Jarvis?
I'm going to go with Mark.
Marky Mark. No, it's not Marky Mark. You have to say it now.
That guy's dead.
All right. So question 3 says it's part 3D. So I guess the 3D movie. She was the object of Shelley's affection and the target for Jason's spear gun. Which character unfortunately took a spear to the eye while she was just trying to return Shelley's wallet?
Yeah, I'm gonna need
their names
because I'm not gonna look that one up.
That's fair.
Need names.
So it's Debbie Klein, Edna Hockett, Vera Sanchez, Fox. One just says Fox.
I want to say Vera because for some reason Debbie didn't ring a bell, and I know it's not the other two.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Vera.
Vera Sanchez. All right. And then question 5 is from part 4, the final chapter, which we know is kind of a lie, right?
Yeah, it is definitely a lie.
So this poor guy was left all alone after everyone else paired off. So he decided to party and watch a movie, with quotation marks. Unfortunately, Jason is a harsh critic and stabbed him in the back of his head. Who was he?
I was trying to think of this dude's name the other day. I swear to God.
And I can give you the names too.
Yeah, give me the names. Damn it.
So we have Rob Dyer, Jimmy Mortimer, Ted Cooper, Doug Bell.
Ted
Cooper.
Yep. Ted Cooper. Yep, it's Ted.
Cooper. I like how the questions are phrased too. It was kind of fun. So Ted Cooper stabbed in the eye. Jason did not like the movie, huh?
Did he stab? No, he stabbed.
Was it
him
a
in the
porno
back of-
when they did the quotations?
Well,
I've not
was-
seen all of them, I'll admit.
First of all, he got stabbed in the eye?
Oh, I'm sorry, in the back of the head. I'm sorry.
I was about to say.
That was my fault. Yeah, stabbed in the back of the head.
I guess they would be kind of like old stag films. Like it was just women. Just nude women.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But it was like the old, like, looked like it came out of the 1930s or something.
Okay. You know, or they like maybe lifted up a skirt and you saw a knee. You're like, ooh.
Yeah. Like, so, yeah,
right.
something to that effect.
So, movie. That's why I was like, when it said it in quotation marks, I'm like, what is he watching? All right. So, this one is from part 2.
Okay.
Can you remember the character that broke cardinal rules of no drinking and no pranks in slasher films, yet still lived?
Yes. I'm going to need names, but I remember there was a dude. I think that's the one we're talking about. So
Okay.
Give me names.
Ted, Rob, Paul, Josh.
These fucking names are all the same. There's
It's
so many Pauls.
very white boy.
So many Pauls, so many Robs. Jesus Christ.
I need a Connor and I need a Todd. Sorry, Todd.
I'm going to go with, if it's the one I'm thinking of, Rob. That's
Okay.
who I'm going to say.
We're going to go with Rob. He
I feel
still
like I
got
can
away with it.
I feel like I can see his face,
And see
but-
now?
unless I'm mistaken the names. Because again, God,
They're very
damn,
generic.
Paul, that's why I had to look up when I said that I had to look that shit up. Because when you said Paul, I was like, Paul. There's a Paul in part 4. That's the Paul I'm thinking of, not the Paul from part
part
2.
two.
So who the fuck is Paul in part 2?
Maybe there isn't one. They could have just made up a name too, for all I know, for the quiz. Like if you were looking for generic names, they're like Paul, you know, Paul, Josh,
Good point.
you know.
But no, there's a Paul right here. I'm part 2.
Oh, so there is. Oh, okay. Well, that was just my guess. You know, I'm not going to remember names, even if I had seen the movie a billion times. I'll be like the guy with the when he walked in,
thing.
and yeah, you remember.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Okay, so this is from part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Which he didn't, but go ahead.
But he wanted to. All right, so this is true or false question. Jason kills the thugs who are listening to the boombox in Times Square after they threaten him.
False.
False. Let him get
Go
away. This one makes me fill it in. Interesting. Like I have to type in an answer. I
Okay.
didn't notice that. Okay, so this is from part 5, A New Beginning.
Okay.
Who was Roy Burns' coworker? And then they have a hint here of 2 words. Think John Wayne, part 9, and the Magic basketball player is the hint. And I can't help you because that's all they have.
Wait a minute.
So who was Roy Burns' coworker? And
okay,
then-
so they're talking about I can see the guy because he was sitting there chewing gum, acting like some big. I mean, there's a fucking dead body there, and he's just so nonchalant about it. It's
Everything's
like, come on, Roy, let's get your hands dirty. You know, that
Yeah.
kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't know if
So
that
got to
hint
come
worked.
up with his name.
Yeah, think John Wayne. It said it's 2 words.
Okay.
So think John Wayne, part 9, and the Magic basketball player. So I guess that's the hint. So John Wayne,
So his
comma,
last name-
part name, comma, and the Magic basketball player.
Duke.
Oh, the Duke. That's
Duke,
a good. Yeah.
Duke Johnson. Duke.
Ooh, Magic Johnson. Look at you. There we go. Look at that. I'm gonna put it in.
Well,
That sounds good to me.
The middle one though, what was
Part
what
9.
Was the,
Just says part 9.
see, that's the part that's got me confused. Duke.
Duke Johnson the 9th. I don't know. That'd be a lot.
Because yeah, what is part 9? Jason Goes to Hell. How does that? I can't put.
Yeah, I don't know. It just says pt.ix. So I was assuming that's 9 for the Roman numerals.
I'm so good. Duke Johnson. That's
Duke
what I'm gonna
Johnson
say.
sounds good to me. Maybe they'll explain in the when we get the answers what the part 9 was for, or people might be at home screaming the answer and just like, "Oh my god, it's this" or something. I'm sorry, guys. Look.
I've seriously never really thought about that guy. Like I know the guy, I just don't know why his name is not.
Oh well,
Popping
was he
into my
that big of a role?
I mean, not really. Like I said, he was more of a douchebag that's just kind of there.
Another fodder, maybe for
Yeah.
Jason later. Okay, so this one is from part 6. Jason Lives.
Great.
Who were the 3 lucky recipients of the infamous triple decapitation on the paintball course.
Shit.
So the
I
first,
know who they are.
Okay.
But I don't know the names.
So we have George, Fred, and Nancy as your first guess. Fran, Stephen, and Mark. Amy, Mike, and David. Stan, Katie, and Larry. They're all very generic names. Look at that. Except for Fran. You don't see a lot of Frans. I guess.
Fran is why I was going to lean that direction. Because I remember she was kind of the reason for one of the guys being mad.
Oh.
Because, you know, women playing paintball and she's good at it. He's so fucking angry at that. Fucking women, stay in the kitchen.
Yeah. How dare she? Yeah.
Yeah.
When they started to learn, like, that doesn't matter if you have estrogen, that we can do certain things. It was just, yeah.
So I'm just, but see, I don't know. I don't know why that just, it sounds right, but at the same time it doesn't. But the others don't sound right either.
Are they all in the movie?
What?
That's a lot of people.
Just give me the female names.
Okay, so the first one had Nancy.
No.
Fran. Amy.
No.
Katie. And the rest
Katie.
are all dudes' names.
It's Fran or Katie. It's one of the two, and that's where I can't discern.
So it was Stan, Katie, and Larry, if that helps. And then Fran, Stephen, and Mark. Might be right if Fran was stirring the pot. I don't know. Being good and just pissing them off.
It's Fran or Katie. I guess I'll stick with Fran since that's where
Your gut
I locked
instinct.
in on. But
There we go.
it's one of the two.
We'll see. Watch, it'll be Amy, Mike, and David. I don't know. Look, I don't know. So this is from part 6. Jason Lives.
Okay.
How did Nikki Parsley meet her untimely end? And they've given me 4 ways that she could have died.
I guess I got to remember which one Nikki is.
Nikki Parsley in part 6. Jason Lives. And you're going to look at her face.
See if I can, let me see if I can find her face. Because at least I can, because look, there's a lot of Friday the 13th movies.
There really
with,
is.
As I also mentioned, names that are repetitive.
Probably
in some
every
ways.
name has been in one of them at some point.
I know the movies, I just forget faces and names.
That's fair. Like, I totally empathize with that, actually.
Nikki. You said Nikki?
Yeah, Nikki Parsley.
She does not look familiar at all.
Maybe she met her end very early in the movie. I don't know.
Holy shit. Let me see if I can, because I don't want to dig too deep, but I just...
Well, I feel like one you can eliminate right away from a question we had earlier. Now that I'm looking at the answers. Well, no, maybe not the way it was phrased. Disregard what I said.
If I can, because if she's who I think she might be, give me the options, because I think I know which one she is, just based on what I've seen here.
Dart thrown into forehead, decapitated with machete,
Maybe.
face smashed into wall of an RV.
That one.
That one?
That one.
Okay. There we go. And then the last one was spear thrown into mouth. Oh, we have face smashed into RV. You're confident. We're going with it.
That I'm confident in.
Perfect. All right. So part 7, The New Blood.
Okay.
Who was the unfortunate victim of the fan favorite sleeping bag kill?
And
And I remember this one too, because I remember the hullabaloo about it too. And it scared the crap out of me. We had
no names. I don't.
And again, you're gonna hear the names and be like, "Oh my god!" Robin, Kate, Judy, Eddie.
No, it's not Eddie. I can tell you that.
Okay, so it was one of the
Or at
chicas.
least, not that I recall. Yeah, it was definitely a woman.
Okay.
I can see the woman.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names too, so I feel bad, but I can't help.
I'm gonna say Robin.
Robin.
Yeah.
Robin getting robbed.
Roll the dice.
Okay, this one was 15 questions. I guess I thought it was 10. So part 8, Jason takes Manhattan.
Okay.
Do you remember who was the object of Jason's wrath on the dance floor aboard the SS Lazarus?
I do. I don't remember her character name, but I remember the actress.
Well, that's good, you know. So it was Tamara Mason, J.J. Jarrett,
No. Colleen
Colleen Van Dusen, Eva Watanabe. If I said her name right.
Ava, yeah.
All right.
It had to be her.
Watanabe.
Watanabe.
Okay, there you go. Ava W is what I would say.
Ava W.
All right. Also from Jason Takes Manhattan. What was the impromptu weapon Jason used to kill Tamara?
Okay, let me see if I can do this one. Because if that's the one, I think I remember her face and name. He used glass from bathroom mirror thing.
One of the answers says glass shard from the broken mirror.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. We'll go with it. Since you said it and it's on there, I'm gonna say that one's probably in the bag.
Finally, I get to answer one without the
without the hints. Yeah, no,
without the hints.
I can do it. All right, part 9. Jason Goes to Hell. Okay. What was the character's name whose fingers were broken by Creighton Duke while in jail?
Fuck. I see his face. What's his name?
That's what I'm asking you.
Okay, I need options. Shit.
No. Stephen Freeman.
Yeah. Stephen Freeman.
All right,
That's it.
there we go. Love it. Love it.
Hear it. Yeah.
I love the confidence. All right, and then the last question for the victims portion of the show. So Jason X is probably what we called it. Who was the regrettable recipient of the iconic liquid nitrogen / head smash death?
I know her face. I can see it clear as day. She was the doctor, and I don't remember her name.
I was going to say, these aren't as generic. So it's Kinsa, Janessa, KM14, Adrian, KM-14.
Might have to be Adrian because what was the first one?
Kinsa, Kinsa, if I'm saying that right.
Because the second one and the third one, I know exactly the characters those are. It's the first two that are throwing me. Kinsa, though, I feel like I know who that is. So it would have to be Adrian.
Adrian?
I'm gonna stick to my guns on that. Adrian.
Perfect. All right, let's see. Did really good, actually. Let's see here. You got 11 out of the 15.
Okay.
So let's see the what. I'll just do the ones that were wrong. Let's see. Who was the first victim that Jason killed with his favorite weapon, the machete? You said Mark Jarvis, and it says Scott Chaney, and this was in part 2. Was the macheted human. And then in part 2, can you remember the character that broke cardinal rules of no drinking and no pranks? You said Rob. Apparently, it was Ted.
Oh, okay.
Poor Ted. Because apparently he was up there in the top Ted. Too. He was just, Ted was the answer for the other one too, where he said harsh critic stabbed him in the back of his head. So poor Ted.
Yeah. See?
Wait a minute.
Ted's all around.
How did he survive the no drinking, no pranks?
He didn't. It was a different Ted. Have to be a different Ted. That's what I'm talking about.
In my head, I'm like, wait a minute.
They just recycled the goddamn names. Here's another Ted. Here's another Ted. Whomever.
Oh, you're going to kick yourself. The part 9 Jason Lives, who were the 3 lucky recipients of the infamous triple decapitation. It was Stan, Katie, and Larry. Yeah. Silly Fran. And then part 7, The New Blood, who was the unfortunate victim of the fan favorite sleeping bag kill, was Judy, not Robin.
Damn it.
And you got the rest right. So that's not bad. Well, says 15 points per question. So if you care about that, you got 165 points.
All right.
For whatever we're storing those for. I don't know. Bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
I'm guessing. Hey, that wasn't bad. I think better than I would have done even when I get multiple choice. You guys have remembered me taking quizzes from Steven before.
There's a lot of forgettable faces. Like, you know them when you watch it, but you don't really think about their names because you know they're just fodder.
I was going to say, they're just there to die, right?
Yeah. You know what their purpose is.
You can't get attached to them.
No.
Then you'll be sad. Let me see how many of these. Okay, so this one's only 10 questions. And so this one's called Jason Through the Years. So the little synopsis, I give you the way Jason killed someone. You give me the sequel in which it occurred. There will be none from Friday the 13th, Part 1, 5, or Jason Goes to Hell, since these did not include the classic masked Jason.
Okay, so they want just Jason. These are Jason kills. Gotcha.
All right, that's the setup. So our first question. Jason sneaks up from behind and drives an ice pick through a girl's temple. All right, so it's either Part 3, 3D, Part 2, Part 6, Jason Lives, or Part 4, The Final Chapter.
It's not 4. Say, which ones are they again?
Part 3, 3D, Part 2, Part 6, Jason Lives, and then Part 4, which you said you were.
I don't. No. It's 2 or 3.
Back in our 3D heyday.
Ice pick into the temple.
Yeah, through a girl's temple. He sneaks up from behind.
I'm gonna say Part 2.
Part 2. Let's do it. Okay, you're gonna know this one because we actually already had it. Haha, it's kind of funny. Okay. Jason rams a girl's face through the wall of an RV.
Yeah, that would be Part 6.
There we go. That was funny. I was looking at that one. Jason splits a guy in half at the crotch with his machete.
3.
3. Ooh, 3, 3D. I didn't even need to give you anything there. I should have read these over and did it this one backwards because we got a couple of repeating here. Okay. Jason decapitates 3 people in one blow.
6.
Got it.
See, if I could do it like this without the
names, knowing the names, right?
That's what I'm so mad about with the first one with the ice pick, because I was like, God damn, why can't I remember that? And that's why I went with 2, because for some reason 2 feels like the one that I remember the least, even though it's a very good sequel. I just, for some reason, it fades off in the back of my memories for some weird reason.
Interesting.
So I can't remember that one as well. So it has to be that one because I can't remember that kill.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a good deduction, right? Because, the other ones, basically, they're saying the same movies, I think, almost in each one of them. But they said they had to take out certain ones, so I get it. Gotcha. Jason flash freezes a girl's head and smashes it to bits.
10. Or X. However.
Yep, it's right there, so perfect. Jason nails a guy's hand to the kitchen counter with a corkscrew, then delivers a meat cleaver to his face.
4. In fact, I can tell you who exactly that was. That was Crispin Glover.
Oh!
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be a perfect one to cleave to the face.
No, it was not me. Bob Gale screwed me. Sorry. Go ahead.
Jason drives a burning rock from the sauna into a guy's chest.
8.
8 it is. I think you're going to clean sweep this one. Jason slices up a guy with a pruning saw. Pruning saw?
7.
Yep, well, it's on there. So I'm trying to envision what a pruning saw is. Like, I know clippers.
It looked more like a weed eater. Like, I would call it a weed eater. Because it had like...
Sure. Okay. Back in the day when we used to actually take care of that shit. This one just says, Jason knocks a guy's head off.
8.
And then the last one, which you should know because we just kind of did this one. Jason traps a girl in her sleeping bag and bashes her against a tree.
7.
I have a feeling you had to clean sweep this one because I didn't have to give you any hints.
I'm going to... If I didn't, then I missed the first one.
Nope. Clean sweep. Perfect score. Perfect score. Nice. Woo. And that says it's 150 points. So look at you.
Right.
Over 300 points.
I got all the points.
bragging rights, I guess, whatever we're doing with this here. And I did kind of look ahead on this one here because I was like, I don't want to keep doing the same questions here because I did. They came from a thing. There was like, I found like 230 different things. And then I tried to narrow it down. So there's a lot of trivia out there, but I wanted them to maybe not be so common. I don't know. Sure. Look, I don't want you to vomit. Let's see. Okay, so this one just says questions from a classic slasher film. So it's just from
whatever.
That's all it says. Yeah. And there are 10.
All right.
Perfect. All right. What famous actress does Marcy quote? And then I can give you the if you know who Marcy is.
I have no idea who Marcy is.
I think it was like something in a mirror, right? Like I'm looking in the mirror and I don't know.
And this is still Friday the 13th?
That's what it says. It says, which famous actress does Marcy quote?
All right, give me the options.
Katharine Hepburn, Betty Davis, Lana Turner, Joan Crawford.
Okay, wait a second.
I'm guessing from a movie.
Something's coming to mind. Something about that. Friday the 13th. Hang on. Let's get
Marcy's face up.
Yep. Because if I can see, because I think I know who Marcy is. I think I got. Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't give me the quote, so I don't know if that would have helped.
Which, yeah, that it kind of.
You should have given me the quote. They're probably assuming now at this point, like, look, you really know what's going on.
What actresses were there again? Say them again.
Katharine Hepburn, Betty Davis, Lana Turner, or Joan Crawford. Lana Turner's the only one that's not coming to mind right away.
I'm going to say Joan Crawford.
Yeah, okay.
Because for some reason, her and Katharine Hepburn were coming to mind. But you watch, it'll be something like Lana Turner.
Yeah. I had to just look her up because I was like, she doesn't look as familiar to me. Or the name doesn't.
I know the name. I know her name. Like, I've heard her name, but I couldn't tell you a movie I've seen her in.
Oh, okay. She lived until 96. All right. So maybe I did and just missed it somehow. All right. Question 2 is just how does Alice die? Alice.
Well, I mean, I kind of, you're probably going to have to give me options
no,
because
that's
I'm
fine.
sitting there thinking, like, do I know how she died? I know she dies somehow. I feel like she gets stabbed in the head.
Stabbed is an option. It just says beheaded, stabbed, strangled, or she doesn't die.
Or she dies. And so you feel like beheaded would have been right too, because, that's what she did to his mom.
No.
I feel like she
got
tit
tit for tat.
Yeah.
Well, you did say stabbed without hearing the options. So that might be a good guess. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. He was stabbed. What beverage does Alice make while waiting for Bill?
Bill.
And this is kind of funny. Tea, herbal tea, iced tea, or coffee.
Poor shit. Now, come on.
I know when I read that, I'm like, so just tea or coffee? Was that the? I don't know. I figured all tea was herbal of some sort, but what do I know? Look.
I mean, I was sitting there thinking tea, but now
and
that
you've
thrown
three
out
teas.
3 different kinds, I don't know. Now I'm starting to wonder if it wasn't coffee.
Was there ice in the glass?
No, because
Okay.
see, I remembered it being a
take that away.
warm beverage, so I thought maybe it was coffee. Because think about it. I mean, would tea really have been a drink of choice back in the 80s?
Well, I mean, and also in America, we don't do a lot of tea.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm gonna just say coffee.
Coffee's
Fuck it,
probably
because
good.
the other tea options sound really stupid.
Right. I was like, maybe herbal tea if you said it was hot, because if you could remember her like dipping a tea bag or something, then maybe. But if you don't have that, then it might have just been coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna say coffee.
I'm trying to think of what just tea would have been if it's not hot or cold.
I don't know.
Look, who made this question? Now I've got questions for you, ma'am or sir. Okay, question 4 is, what is Steve doing when we first see him? Is he painting the fence, removing a tree stump, tying the piers together, or fixing the gutters?
Gutters.
Good old Steve.
Steve.
Getting the gutters clean.
He was the guy, Steve Christie.
Ah,
Yeah.
2 first names.
Almost positive, yeah.
I can't trust people with 2 first names, man.
Mm-mm.
That's what I was told my whole life. I don't know. Who plays Ned? We've got some actors' names here, it looks like.
I guess.
Ron Carroll, Rex Everhart, Mark Nelson, Peter Brower.
I have no fucking clue.
That's fair. Like actors'
I'm going to say
names?
C.
Mark Nelson.
Sounds good enough to me.
That sounds like an actor. Very, very generic or something. How does Jack die?
I don't know who Jack is.
He takes an arrowhead through the throat, strangled with a rope, shot with a bow. I'm assuming in the arrow. He is smothered with a pillow.
So you'd think a smothered with a pillow, but that just feels so wrong. It seems too simple. Who was this again?
Jack. Yeah, it doesn't give me a last name.
Oh, okay. Well, that seals the deal on that. The arrow through the throat.
Arrowhead through the throat.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Nice. So many ways.
Yeah.
So many ways these people have died. All right. Now this one you might have to like pay it attention. What brand of toothpaste do we see Brenda use? I know. Like if somebody has watched this stuff a million times, they've probably done it. Paid attention. I'm wondering if it was like an ad placement, like how in movies they'll show you a can of Coke because Coca-Cola paid them to do it. So I've heard of all of these though. One not for a long time. It may not even still be in existence for all I know, but I've not looked for it, to be fair.
Yeah, you're going to have to give me, because I have no fucking
That's
clue.
fair. So the first one is Pepsodent, Crest, Colgate, or Aquafresh. Did it have like a stripe in it? I don't know if we actually watch or brush your teeth, because people don't actually do the full brushing of teeth in movies because they think it looks gross. And it kind of does.
Yeah.
But you've never seen anyone using toothpaste.
Honestly, I'm going to I feel like I might have to go with the Pepsodent because I don't recall.
I feel like that was bigger in the 80s, maybe.
Super name brand. Yeah, like nothing's coming to mind. So
Maybe it is still around.
Yeah, I'll go with Pepsodent.
Pepsodent. Let's do it. It's a whitening toothpaste, I guess. An American brand of toothpaste with minty flavor that is derived from sassafras.
Sassafras? Oh, good God.
Like what? Oh, man. Okay. And it's still owned by the company outside of the United States and Canada. So, all right. There you go. Your quiz on Pepsodent for the day, as if we all cared about that. Question 8 is, what game do the kids play? They have
Monopoly.
That's on there.
Is that one of the? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm almost positive it was Monopoly because I feel like I remember. Yeah. Monopoly.
There you go. One would have probably been. Well, no. Does that have dice? Because Risk was one of the options, and I'm like, does that have dice? It's been so long since I played Risk. Because Clue and Yahtzee obviously have dice, but I'm like, now I gotta look that up. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that I'm
Risk.
I'm gonna probably say it probably does, but I just don't remember why.
It's like, am I getting that or Stratego mixed up? Maybe.
Someone's probably told us by now. So.
Right. It looks like it's car. Nope. There is dice. Okay. So there you go. Because I was wondering if could we have eliminated that if you saw dice? But no, never mind. Man, Stratego. I'd like to play that again. Do you remember Guess Who?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
I would like to play some of those games again. I don't know. Board games were fun back in the day when you had people who would actually play them.
Sure, yeah.
I think I still have Clue, but there's only 2 of us, and that makes it way too easy. And even the board game says you need 3 or more. So it's like, okay, fine. So I'll just play a computer when I am in the mood for Clue. That was my favorite board game. Little fun fact for those who were giving a crap. Question 9. What kind of uniforms do the counselors wear? And it looks like it's asking for colors of article of clothing.
I mean, I don't really remember them wearing uniforms of any kind, really.
Maybe it was like matching shirts and shorts or something.
I guess.
I mean, I can give you what they say, too.
Yeah, because I'm confused by that.
All right. So the first option is they wear a yellow shirt, blue shorts, and a black belt. A blue shirt, white shorts, and a yellow belt, which sounds hot, by the way. Yellow shirt, blue shorts, white belt.
Okay, so maybe they're talking about the counselors at the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
So okay. Yeah, go. What's the last one?
And the last one is yellow shirt, blue shorts, blue belt. So blue on blue.
Okay, so the yellow shirts ring.
That's in there 3 times, so that might be.
That's why it's like something's firing off in my head, like, no, yellow shirts. And that would have been for the early counselors at the beginning.
And it seems like they did blue shorts for all the yellow shirts. So I'm guessing it would be then yellow and blue. And now you just got to figure out the belt, if it was black, white, or blue. If we're eliminating blue shirts.
I was sitting there looking at their fucking belt the whole time. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, maybe it was blue and it blended in. You know, that's why you wouldn't have even thought. But maybe if it was yellow, you'd be like, why the hell is he have a yellow belt on blue shorts? I don't know. Look.
Yeah, because, that's a gamble at this point. I don't know. What were the colors of the
belt?
belts?
Black, white, or blue. I mean, aesthetically, I would hope it's black, but I don't know.
But see, they're blue, not blue, because blue shorts.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there was a white belt that contrasted that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go white, yellow, blue.
White.
Yellow, white, blue, whatever.
Sounds great. Sounds very camp counselor, though. I mean, yellow.
Yeah.
Like, who wears yellow outside of like a uniform? Please let me know. Yeah. Do you guys wear yellow? I don't think I own anything yellow.
No. In fact, I've actually turned away shirts, like designs, because of yellow. I'm just like, I'm not wearing that.
Yeah. Yellow's a specific people color. Like, you've got to, I think maybe it's because like I look washed out when you have like this pale ass woman on a yellow shirt, you know, unless it's like a mustard yellow or something. But yeah, no, I don't think I own anything. I'm like, I can't think of anything yellow I would have ever gotten myself to wear. Like, I've just discounted that color altogether as something on clothing. Yeah. All right. And the last question, how does Ralph die?
Well, he is trying to figure out how they would have it listed there. Strangled, a garrote to the neck, or by a tree, or however.
That's what it's strangled with a piece of barbed wire is one of the options.
Oh, shit.
And I was looking at that going, oh, ow.
I didn't feel like it was barbed wire, but I mean, it could have been, and I just didn't pay attention.
Well, it's the only one that says strangled, so if you're confident he was strangled, because the other one is shot 100%. With a bow and arrow, stabbed in the throat, or just doesn't die.
No, he's definitely strangled. So.
He was strangled. You might have clean sweep this one too. Let's see.
I don't know. I feel like that last one, or one of those few.
Okay. It was 6 out of 10.
Damn.
Let's see. But the one you thought for sure, the actress Marcy quoted, was Katharine Hepburn. Shit. And it actually gave us the little thing here.
What did she say?
It has started to rain, so Jack and Marcy run into a nearby cabin. Jack lights a candle to get some light in the room, and Jack and Marcy make love in bunk beds. They don't realize Ned's dead body is in the top bunk. Marcy tells Jack she needs to use the bathroom. Marcy runs to the bathroom in the pouring down rain. Through an exterior window, we see Marcy go into one of the stalls, and as Marcy is in the stall, the killer enters the bathroom. Killer sees Marcy's feet and flashlight underneath the stall. And while Marcy is in the stall, she hears a noise. She thinks it's Jack and calls his name several times. Marcy goes to the sink to wash her hands. She looks in the mirror and does an impression of Katharine Hepburn. Marcy says, "When I looked into the mirror, I knew I'd always be ugly. I said, Lizzie, you'll always be plain." Marcy hears a sound coming from the shower and she thinks it's Ned, calls his name. And it sounds like then she got axed in the head.
Gotcha.
And then falls to the floor dead. So Katharine Hepburn is a true legend of the silver screen. I love this little disclaimer at the bottom here. She was nominated for a total of 12 Oscars in her film career. She won 4 awards. Her last Oscar win was in 82 for On Golden Pond.
Nobody asked.
Nobody did, but it's there. So I figured, why not? Content. All right. So how does Alice die? It says she doesn't. She doesn't die. We had stabbed.
No,
She's the only survivor of this killer spree. Okay, if it's
wait a
bullshit, let me know.
second. Whoa.
Okay.
So we're saying this was a quiz just on the first movie.
That's my understanding, or at least though it said the classic film.
Well, see, then maybe that's where I go. Okay, because now then I know where my other one's wrong. Because then you're going to say that Crazy Ralph didn't die either. Because he didn't die in this one. He dies in the second one.
You're right.
Just like Alice, son of a bitch. Fuck you, stupid quiz. Maybe I misunderstood that detail.
Well, okay. Well, then you still. I'm gonna give you the Ralph one back then, because you're like, oh wait. Well, then now that I know, so yeah, it just says she's the only one that survives and finds all of her friends dead one by one. Again, and barricades herself inside. Yeah.
Ralph survives.
Yep. That was the other one too. Then it looked the only other one you missed. Then it says, what was Steve doing when we see him? He's actually removing a tree stump, according to them, instead of fixing the gutters. Let's see. It says Jack, Marcy, and Ned arrive at the camp. Steve calls them over to help him remove the tree stump. They all knock the stump over, and then Steve introduces himself to the guys.
Okay. Well, I guess, yeah, because I was mistaken. There was a scene with Alice and him, and he was doing the gutter work and all that.
Oh.
Okay.
So you're
fine.
right. Just not the first time we saw Steve then. First time he's all manly stuff. I'm cleaning the gutters. I'm taking the tree up.
He got his no shirt wearing ass with his blue jean shorts and his little red bandana and his glasses. A little nerd.
It's got to be sexy.
I guess.
Got to be dead sexy.
If you're into that. That kind of guy. That's
I was going to say, it's like there's a much difference to like the buff in the day and then like buff now, which is kind of insane to think about. Like back in the day, you just had to have a flat stomach and we were like, oh, look at how cut, you know? And like now apparently we have to see like every freaking muscle that you have to believe you even work out or something. Like it's not realistic. We had a better, healthier idea of it back then. Like you were just thin. We're good.
It really does a number on somebody because you want to look a certain way. You think you don't look good because you look at that and be like, well, that's what they want.
Yeah. No, not necessarily. People love all kinds.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What was it that you had that meme where it was just like, you know, Magic Mike made $100-something million, guys. So just so you know, and then the guy's like, yeah, Shrek also made 400-something million. So
just as a comparison,
ladies like the dad bods too, you know, as they call them, you know. And so, you know, a little butt shoot, it's kind of cute. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. I got another one for you. Let's see.
All right.
Jason, Life and Times trivia quiz. So the little synopsis it says here, I know it's all through it. All Friday the 13th fans know that Jason died at the end of Friday the 13th, the final chapter. This quiz is about the 4 films in the original Friday the 13th series, which cover his life and his development as a notorious cinematic killer.
Okay, so 1 through 4.
That's what it's saying here. This quiz is 4 films in the original Friday the 13th before he died.
I'm aware now, so I can't if I fuck it up.
Right. Let's see if it looks like the last person who did this one only got 4 out of 10, but then everyone else was 10 out of 10. So we'll see here. Maybe that person didn't know they were on a Friday the 13th quiz. Got lucky.
Maybe.
Let's see how many is on this one. And 10. Okay. It was just that first one was 15. It threw me off. All right. As a young boy at Camp Crystal Lake in 57, Jason was involved in a traumatic incident that resulted in everyone believing him to be dead for the following 2.5 decades. What was the alleged cause of death?
Drowning.
I was going to say, I even knew that one. And I didn't have to look at the questions either. Because, like, wasn't it? Again, it's been so long since I've seen it. Like, he wasn't even the original killer, right? Like, it was his mom.
No,
right?
it was his mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was just like, in the first one, do we even have Jason? Which, again, was the whole reason for, like, the lawsuit with the video game and the blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, my gosh, that still blows my mind.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that guy got paid. I never really looked back into it.
As far as I know, everything got settled. Everything is sorted, and they are currently trying to make a series, which I don't know how I feel about the series.
Like a TV series?
Yeah. And I personally feel like you should do a movie or a limited series about his mother. I think that's your focus. I think there's a lot of great material in just that alone. Get to know her. Tell her story.
Something we haven't seen 12 times or however many movies there are now.
And I mean, and really, really focus in on the psychological profile of Pamela Voorhees. Who is this woman? Why was she so obsessed and in love with her son to the point that she was like, I will fucking kill everybody who I feel is responsible for his death? It make it so poignant and so beautiful because I watched an interview with Betsy Palmer, the woman who played her originally, and she said that when she initially got that part, she was like, "This is garbage. I'm not doing this. This is beneath me." You know, that
I mean, horror films, I guess, might have had that, like,
yeah, I mean, especially at that time, sure. So she just had that mentality, like, God, no, fuck. And then her agent's like, look, I know it's not great, but it's a payday. You know, you need a new car, right? Just come on. Just, I don't know. And
struggling
like,
actor.
Fine, I'll do it. Yeah. So she did. She was just like, fine, all right, I'll do it. Just for the car. You know, I need a new car. And she said that as she got to really understand the character, she's like, when I really actually took the time to really look at it, I realized how heartbreaking it is. She's a mother who lost her child.
Yeah.
And that's how I played it. She's devastated, heartbroken. And I was like, oh my God. And it was a level of it that I'd never considered before. And I thought, that's the approach you need to tell this story. I mean, think about it. Friday the 13th is considered like trash cinema, you know?
Yeah.
Like these just, you don't, it's not good for you, but you love it anyway.
Right,
it's
sure.
garbage
Your guilty
you know?
pleasure or whatever.
Yeah. But to take the material and transform it into something maybe Oscar worthy.
I was going to say, even by today's day and age, like you could really do it well. Because I mean, if you think about it, that series, Bates Motel.
Yes.
Like that was a more interesting telling because you were seeing how all of this happened before he became psycho, like him as a kid, you know, with his mom and how it built up to that. You're on to something. He needs to pay Steven for this, man. Get him to make it.
I'm telling you, there's a solid idea here because if it's played, it's all on how you approach it, all on how you present it, because I want you to have so much fucking sympathy for her. I never, in the history of the series or the narrative, whatever you're doing, you were never once not going to be on her side. You're going to see the trauma she's gone through. You're going to see the hell she's put up with, all for this boy. Because this is her world, this is her heart. And when it's taken from her, I want you to struggle not to be on her side.
And you could.
Yeah.
Because I've watched some things like that where you're like, what they did was wrong. But I mean, I do that when I watch The Boys. It's like Homelander. But I mean, when you see how he was raised and what conditions and the stuff he was taught, you know, it's like you see how they became the villain.
Yeah. And that's what I would love to do with her. I want to play it to the point where it breaks your heart to see her in pain. Like selling the death of Jason, that has to be sold so earnest. I want you to feel that pain the woman is going through as she thinks her son is drowned at the bottom of this lake. And in fact, for the narrative for this story, I would let him drown. You know, like I wouldn't even worry about the nonsense that he's going to come back.
Right.
You know.
Well, yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah. Tell it the way it's supposed to be told. Initially told. He drowned in that lake.
Yep.
Tell it that way. Don't worry about any of that other stuff because that's where, because the moment you start picking it apart to set up shit for later, you're gonna deconstruct the whole thing.
Sure.
He has to be dead. You have to understand that.
Yeah.
That's what she has to believe too. There can't be any kind of, because, you know, you could do like, well, maybe she's a witch or maybe, again, you add in all these extra little elements and you're going to just, it's going to go away. You ruin it.
Just a character study. Like, forget about all that. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a character study. Let it stand alone. I think it would be an amazing project that the right actress. Oh my God. You talk about wanting to give a proper role for a budding actress of the genre. Mia Goth, the girl that's been in Pearl and X and all that shit. Let her be fucking Pamela Voorhees. You cast that shit, she will crush.
She is really good.
Fuck out of it. Oh my God. Now I want to make this movie.
I want to see this movie. Because especially if you could find a good actress in horror genre, because like, I mean, horror is kind of hard to sell, honestly, you know, like as to make it real believable. I want to see this movie. I can't believe nobody's tried it.
I don't understand it either, but I feel like that is your approach right now for that franchise. I know Jason's the moneymaker. I know he's the product. He's the product that you put the hockey mask and shit. But a very simple, low budget story about his mom.
Well, I think that could be great. Yeah.
There's a fucking gold mine there.
Dude, just the fans alone, I think, could make the movie pay itself. I don't know. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of really cult underground fans of the entire series that, like, maybe they would be clamoring for something like this, but you could make it for them. It's okay to make a movie for the people who would see your shit, you know? Like,
it's like I would, if done right. Because again, if I was tapped to do this, oh my God, the pressure I would be under to make it perfect, I would not stop.
And that heavy angst you're trying to sell us all to, because like.
But I mean, shit, I want to see this movie so bad.
I do too. Oh my God, you're right. How has nobody? Maybe they'll shock you, and the series will be that, like a mini series, kind of like I think how Bates Motel was supposed to be, but I think they ended up being like 3 seasons or something. I don't know. I fell off after a couple of them. Like, it was great, and then when it kept going, I'm like, okay, well.
They got to 5. I think they did.
Oh,
5
was it
seasons.
that long? Okay.
And then they practically like season 5 was a retelling of the movie, just in a different way.
Okay.
Which I appreciated because I was curious. I was like, you going to roll this into the movie or are you going to do your own thing? And they were like, no, we're doing our own thing. I was like, all right, cool. Which is fine.
Yeah, make it your own. I mean, because I thought the kid who played him did a really good job too. Oh, yeah. I really enjoyed his, version of it. And the actress, I'll never remember her name, but I remember her in a lot of other things that I always thought she was phenomenal in.
Vera Farmiga.
There you go. See, look at you. I wish I had that ability to like store people's names, unless I've seen you a billion times, There you go. So make that movie.
Please,
somebody. We'll watch it.
Come
You got 2
knocking
fans.
on my door. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So question 2. How many people does Jason kill in the first Friday the 13th movie? There's a lot here. Well, there's 4 answers here.
Yeah, give me the numbers because I think I know, but I'm not 100%.
Like, one's got to be a joke, but let's see. Okay. 13, 6, 0, 12.
Wait a minute. Read that fucking question again.
How many people does Jason kill in the first Friday the 13th movie?
0.
Yeah, when you said it again, I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, that was the one I thought was going to be a joke answer, like the giveaway. But then, yeah, thank you. Perfect. I think you're right, actually, on that one now that I reheard the question.
That's 0.
Yeah. He wasn't there. Where does Jason commit his first ever act of murder? They've given me 4 locations.
Man, I guess Alice's house.
Is that in the woods beside a cabin? Let's see. There's in the woods beside a cabin, in a barn, at the edge of the lake, in a kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Okay. I was going to say, if you're like in someone's house, maybe it was in her kitchen. First ever. Oof. That's die in your own home.
But are we 100% sure on that? Because if he's been alive this whole time, he's not killed another soul.
Just our first documented kill, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
No one went missing around Camp Crystal Lake and no one noticed or anything.
No. He just needed a snack and got scared, I guess. And
Sure.
Let's see. In Friday the 13th, Part 2, Jason's character is still being developed, and he is portrayed quite differently than in subsequent films. What is one way in which he is different? I'll give you these because I feel like that's a very generic question. First one is he screams and grunts. He has hair. He has a limp. He demonstrates fear.
Okay, now what? What
does he do in Part 2 that I guess he never does again? Like, as far as character development, does he never scream anymore? Does he have hair? Did he lose hair, I guess? Or does he have a limp?
He has hair.
So did he have hair in Part 2? Although I don't know why that would be a character development. He is portrayed. Portrayed quite different.
I mean, for the most part, he has rarely ever had hair.
Okay.
Ever. Hardly. But there are times he's had hair. But that was more like...
But not in Part 2?
Part 2, he had hair. He looked like a mountain man in Part 2. Like beard, well, kind of.
God, it's been so long.
I'll say hair because I don't really know what they're looking for here because I feel like he's grunted before, but it's
And
rare.
after Part 2? I guess that was the thing. So in Part 2, Jason's character is still being developed and is portrayed, I guess, in Part 2 differently than in subsequent films. So which of these four things, I guess, does he have in Part 2 that he didn't have in other ones? Yeah.
I'll say hair, but again, I still feel like that's wrong because in 9, 10, and even, 9 and 10, he had like little tufts of hair off to the side. But whatever.
Did he ever have a limp?
See, I want to say that he had a limp in that too, but I feel like that was kind of an injury thing. Something had happened, and they were just like, if you notice, he had a limp, but that's because of blah, 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 blah. Gotcha. But I don't feel like it was a character thing, so I'm just going to say hair.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't like really know what else.
This is a weird, it is phrased weird, this question. We'll see what happens, I guess. So question 5, what callous act, even by his standards, does Jason commit in Friday the 13th, Part 2?
He kills a dog. Maybe.
That is an answer. If you wanted to hear them all, or I could go for pet dog if you're confident.
Yeah, let me see because that's let me hear the answers before I say anything.
So the first one is he burns one of his victims alive, kills an expecting mother, kills a disabled man, or kills a pet dog.
Okay. No, actually, I might have to go with the disabled guy.
Okay. Why would it be by his standards even callous?
I don't know. I don't know because the first kill, what did you say that was?
Burns a victim alive.
I don't remember anything like that happening in this movie.
Did he kill a pregnant person?
In Part 3.
Okay, so not in Part 2. Yeah.
It had to, and the dog, I was going to say the dog, but I remember the dog shows up at the end. Like, you assume he killed the dog.
Gotcha.
And then the dog's like, "Aww."
Yeah, because you can't kill animals in movies. People go nuts.
Muffy. Yeah. So, yeah, it has to be the guy in the wheelchair.
Does he usually? Oh, no, never mind. So I was getting my people confused because I was like, he usually killed women, but I'm not. We were talking about the other movies, and now I'm getting them confused in my head. But now he kills whoever. Jason acquires his trademark hockey mask, which he takes from a victim halfway through Friday the 13th, Part 3. What did Jason wear on his head for the first half of that movie?
Nothing.
That is the answer. One of the answers here, but I love that one of them is pantyhose, a burlap sack, or a mask made of human flesh. Different movie.
We would assume burlap sack, but as far as we are aware, he lost that in this last one, in the second one.
Okay.
And we never see his face, or we never see his head, should I say, until he gets the hockey mask. Therefore, one would just surmise he has nothing because we keep shooting him from the chest down.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I say nothing.
Yeah, I say nothing. You're probably right. In Friday the 13th, the final chapter, Jason demonstrates an array of impressive skills, which make him all the more formidable a psychotic killer. Which of the following is one of them? He can fall several stories and land on his feet, so he's like a cat. He can throw knives with pinpoint accuracy. He can lift the front end of a car off the ground, so human feet strength. Or he can hold his breath underwater for prolonged periods of time, which I feel like would have been the natural gift, seeing as how, I guess she was in the water for 20 years. I'm kidding. But,
I don't really see where, there's one skill out of all of these that would even be remotely close to something he kind of showed in this movie. I don't know where the fuck they got the rest of these skills from.
Might have just thrown him out there.
And even as I'm saying that this is the only thing, even that I can kind of argue against, because they said with pinpoint accuracy, meaning he is going to hit what he threw. Mm-hmm. And he
miss.
didn't.
Yeah.
He did not hit it.
Okay.
Because he was aiming at this girl and he hit the side of the door frame. So he missed. So even if it was pinpoint, it was still off, and it wasn't.
Right. Yeah. So that's not accurate. You wanted to hit her and you didn't. So.
But that is the only thing that you listed that he did in that movie.
Oh, really? So he never fell from a building or lifted a car or went underwater? All right.
I mean, okay, so with the water thing, there was a scene where he would have been underwater, for sure. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I guess that could work too. It's one of the two. But, I mean, all right, let's say the underwater thing. God damn it. Fuck these stupid answers.
Well, I mean, if he missed and that is the correct answer, I still feel like you would be right. Because pinpoint accuracy means if I wanted to hit the thing, I hit the thing.
Yeah.
And dead center of the thing, because you said pinpoint. If I threw a machete, I would split that pin in half. I was so good. So if they say it's that, I will call bullshit.
Exactly.
Maker.
So that's what we're going with here. The fact that he didn't hit her cannot be pinpoint. Therefore, it has to be the underwater thing, because it's the only other scene that I can think of that was in the movie. He would have been under the water for an extended period of time to kill this girl who gets in the water. Because he had to have been under there the entire time, knowing full well she would be going in there.
Well, he always knew how to be one step ahead, right?
Yeah, he would literally have to have been under there saying, I'm waiting for somebody to come up under this boat. You just wait. I don't give a fuck how long it takes, but I know someone's going to come in this boat. And I'm going to wait right here until it happens. Anytime now.
What is Jason?
Yeah.
That's the one thing that always from that How Did This Get Made with Jason Mantzoukas. What is Jason?
What is Jason?
That is a good question. What is he?
I've never understood what he is, you know?
Oh, I love that man. Let's see. Question 8. Which of the eventual female survivors of a Friday the 13th movie reveals that she had an encounter with Jason years before, in which it is implied he SA'd her? So if you...
But did it really, though? That was such a weird... It's so weird. That whole sequence is weird. Because... I'm trying to remember her name, and I might have to give you. Well, I want to try to get her name because I know it.
Okay.
Give me the letters each name start with.
One starts with an A, G, T, or C.
C. Is it a Chrissy?
It says Chris.
Chris, yes, it's Chris.
I'm gonna say that's Chris. Close to me.
because the dude,
Go ahead, no, tell him because I don't know this one.
The guy in part 3 who has a thing for her looks way too fucking old, like much older than her in some weird fucking
age
way.
gaps happen.
And he's so, I don't know, like almost like he's just so I don't know how to describe it. He comes off like
very creepy,
you're not,
extra creepy.
Like, I thought you were coming up here. Not that he says this, but let me just kind of give you a vibe.
Okay.
Hey, you came up here, Chris. That's great. Let's fuck later. Oh, you don't want to fuck me? Well, fuck you. I don't know. Why did you come up here then? Why bother?
Oh, one of those moments.
I thought we were supposed to be fucking while we're up here, and now you don't want to? I guess I don't understand why you're up here, Chris. I don't know why you even wanted to come up here.
Yeah.
That kind of attitude kind of thing. You know,
I've seen those a lot in movies and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, well, this is the only reason why I brought you. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Glad to know that that's all you wanted me to come up here to visit you for. Cool.
But it's Chris, and the story, like, she tries to explain that she got attacked or something by this guy that sounds like Jason. But then we're meant to think that he violated her. And there's something about that just doesn't track when you think of every other time that we've watched Jason in these movies.
He's not seem to have like any kind of libido, right? Like,
so this just happened to be the one time he just like, you know what, I'm gonna try this. You know?
I mean, and who knows how though, too. If dude likes knife play or something like that, like it could still be violating without him physically doing something, but he has tools that he's doing something with. So it could, who knows? I'd have to hear the story. but I don't mean to laugh, but like, uncomfortable laughter.
Sure. But even still, I don't feel like it's more implied than it is said outright, because I feel like they were going to say it outright, like Jason.
Well, it does say in which it is implied that he SA'd her. So
but he did not, or at least, I mean, they didn't say it outright, and I feel like there were other scenes that enforced or said it outright, and they were just like, don't say it outright. So it's, again, just still implied in the story, and again, doesn't track, because you're like, but he's never once and never since been like that. He just seems like a character that, like,
is she like insanely hot, like even by any person's standards? Like, I mean, I'm not trying to knock anybody, but I'm like, maybe it was just like, oh my God, like I can't not be attracted to this person.
She's cute, but that's just what I'm going to give her.
Yeah, that would be weird though, if he showed no interest ever.
Yeah, never.
Or it could have been a situation where like she saw him, something happened, trauma. She doesn't know who did what.
I mean, look, if they'd have written in, maybe he was, maybe he discovered himself that day. Maybe he was, in the middle of something and she interrupted, and maybe he was just confused.
Yeah.
Something happened. I'm not trying to make light. Doesn't matter.
Right? You don't
but
do
it's
it.
Chris.
But yeah, Chris implied it, whether it happened or not. So question 9, in which Friday the 13th movie do we see Jason's house? And this is from the first 4.
Okay, now we're talking about, the first 4. So that would have been part 2.
Part 2. There we go. And then the final question for this one. What is the death blow that finally kills Jason at the end of Friday the 13th, the final chapter?
Machete to the, I'm going to be very specific, guys. Machete to the left side of his head and through his eye.
I was going to say, I was trying to remember where the crack was on the mask. So
kind of like right here somewhere. Just
you got more specific. It just says struck in the head with a machete was one of the questions.
And then he slides down it.
Yeah. Like nice and sloppy sounding, probably very juicy, very bloody. Not how it would probably sound at all, but Foley's got a Foley. All right, that was all 10. Let's see here how you did. You got a perfect score. Woo! 10 out of 10. Look at you.
Felt like I was worried about a few.
I was like flip-flopping back and forth. That works. So far, I'm trying to keep them all up here because we've done 3, right? or 4?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was only one that you got a couple wrong on, and it's debatable, I think, on the phrasing of the questions. I'll give you that
they were
much
trying,
at least. Oh,
they
no, we've
were
done
ask-
4. I'm a jerk. Okay.
Oh, did we do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they were asking me questions about character names for characters that died pretty early on. So I'm sorry I didn't remember their names right offhand.
Yeah. Well, look,
I didn't get to know them.
I'm with you on that. I'm not going to remember people's names. Let me open up this one because I think I had one more just in case. Let's see. And I want to make sure it's a 10 question one before and then I'm like, oh, the last one's 12,000 questions. Perfect. Want to do just one more?
Sure.
Just one more. So this one's Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives quiz. So this is just on the 6th installment of the Friday the 13th series.
Gotcha.
All right. So first question is, what has Camp Crystal Lake's name been changed to?
Oh, Camp Forest Green.
That is one of the answers, so I'm going to click it. I like the one of those, Packanack. I just like the sound of that, Packanack.
Packanack. That is the camp from Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, okay. All right. I still have to go back and watch that. I know you've told me for a long time I need to, and I feel like I either couldn't find it or I just forget, because I intend to.
It's out there somewhere. Tubi or something like that. I guarantee you might be able to.
Oh, you might be
stumble
right.
upon it.
I need to poke on there more. All right. Which actor plays Jason's rival, Tommy Jarvis? And I can give you their names.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it in the way it's probably not meant to be pronounced, but Thom Matthews.
That is up there. Thom Matthews. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thom. Oh my God. Who named that's got to be a stage name. Please say it's a stage name. I hope your mom did not name you Thom, or dad, or both, or caregiver, or whatever happened to you, man.
Whomever.
Now I'm like Thornton from the movie last week. Or was it?
Thornton.
My Thornton, my dad. How is Jason brought back to life?
Lightning.
I like this. He was never really dead, but I mean,
Okay.
true, I guess. If he just came up
Sure.
out the water, he never really died.
Just needs
What
to-
is Jason?
What is Jason?
Oh, you guys got to go see that though, or listen to that if you like it. We're talking about, so how did this get made? And Jason Mantzoukas is one of the hosts on there, and they just kind of talk about B movies and just kind of tear it apart or talk about it. And I think he did the one on Jason X, was it?
Jason. Well, I think they did Jason X, but they also did Jason Lives because the one you're doing the quiz on.
Oh yeah,
And that, I just recently listened to that episode again.
it's funny, guys, and I recommend that podcast anyway because I like Jason Mantzoukas, and I think the concept is fun, and I think they do a brilliant job of just making fun of these movies, and it's great. So, anyway, little plug, not a sponsor. All right, question 4: whose music is playing in the background during the RV murders?
Oh, I'm gonna take a guess and be like Alice Cooper.
That is one of the answers. So we'll do Alice Cooper. I don't know Dokken. That's one of the options on here. Dokken. I feel like I've never heard of them.
Dokken, they did that song Dream Warriors for Nightmare on Elm Street 3. We're the Dream Warriors.
Oh, yeah. All very hair band stuff here, you know? Yeah. Okay. Because Metallica and Ozzy Osbourne were other options on here too. So it's very much we know what era we're in right now. What is the name of the only camper aware of Jason's presence?
Oh, shit. It's that little girl. I need names.
Alice, Heather, Kristen, Nancy.
Feel like her name might be Nancy because that was kind of the joke, is that she has the name of the heroine from another franchise, because Alice would have been the girl from the first movie, so they wouldn't have reused that. And this was all about, all the characters had winks and nods to
Like other horror
famous
films.
famous horror directors and movies and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the Carpenters, the Myerses,
And I feel like we like Nancy in horror flicks a lot. I wonder
I'm
what
gonna
it is
say
about
it's-
that name.
I feel like it's Nancy because I remember there was a little girl named Nancy. I want to say Nancy.
Okay. And I feel like it's always in movies, little kids are the ones who knows what's really going on. I think we're supposed to believe because, like, you know, the world hasn't gotten to them yet and they're you know, able to imagine or see, I don't know, whatever. So I could see it being a kid. Like, kid's the only one in the know. Because everyone else is off screwing. Because that's what you also do in horror flicks is just flash
Always.
boobs and screw and drink.
And you know, ironically, this movie, the girl that got her face smashed in, I don't know if this
Another question on here.
question will show up in there, but ironically, the girl that got her face smashed into the RV in this film was, or probably still is, in or has done a lot of pornographic films, yet this film has zero nudity. This is the only Friday the 13th movie with no nudity.
Interesting. I wonder if that's why. She's like, look, guys, I do this a lot. Could we maybe, you know, I mean, you don't need it, but that's funny.
Yeah, it's just really interesting.
Good for her, finally breaking away.
Good for her.
If that's what she wanted, you know. All right, question 6. Which counselor is Sheriff Garris's daughter? Again, more generic names, I feel like. I see. Well, I shouldn't say that now. They're probably a generic now. But
Feel like there's a Missy.
there's a sissy on here.
Not a sissy.
Okay.
Shit. Maybe they called her Missy or somebody called her Missy. That's not it. What are the names? What are the other names?
I have Paula,
No.
Nikki, Megan.
Megan.
Okay.
Megan.
Megan. You out. Cheers, daughter. Let's see. All right. Tommy stops at a gas station named after a famous actor in the horror genre. Which actor is the gas station named after?
A famous actor?
I love one of the answers, but it's probably wrong.
Read me the answers.
All right. So the first one's Vincent Price, Bruce Campbell, Christopher Lee, Boris Karloff.
Because I was starting to think it was the first one.
Vincent Price.
I thought it might have been Price's, but now
Horror
I'm starting
icons.
to think I think it's Karloff. Something about that rings truer, so I'm gonna say Karloff's.
I was trying to make a play of gas station in my head with any of their names, and none of it really worked. So we'll go
That
Boris
one-
Karloff.
I don't know what it is, but that sounds right. Like
Okay.
I feel very confident about that. The more I'm sitting on it.
Get there. The Karloff gas station. What existentialist work is lying on top of a sleeping camper?
What?
A book. I'm going to say it's a book. What? Because like when I'm reading these right here, what existentialist work? Yeah, that's the word. Existentialist work is lying on top of a sleeping camper. So probably some smart person book. Like maybe I can give you the names of it.
Give me the options. 'Cause,
So yeah.
it might click once I hear it.
The Stranger by Albert Camus. No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre, if I'm saying that last name right, Sartre. Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. Or The Metamorphosis, I think they spelled it wrong. Metamorphosis is what's spelled here, but I feel like metamorphosis was probably correct. I don't know. Franz Kafka, though, wrote that one. The Metamorphosis.
I feel like No Exit was kind of the joke.
I can see that.
Because the director was very, I remember him saying so many times, like in behind the scenes interviews and shit like that, he knew what he was signing up for. He's like, this is the 6th entry in a horror franchise. What the fuck am I going to do that hasn't already been done? And he literally said, if I'm going to do this, you got to allow me to do, like, change it up.
Fun.
Be a little kind of fun. Yeah. Because 6.
Yeah, right.
You know, this motherfucker's
Little
dead.
did they know it would
So-
go on forever.
Because obviously the Frankenstein parallel starts the movie. You know, him coming back to life through lightning. So that's already kind of a B movie trope. So a lot of the things that are happening in here are little, you know, puns and jokes and nods and things like that. So yeah, no exit has to be no exit.
That makes sense to me. Yeah. Let's see. Does Jason die from a machete? It's a yes or no.
In this movie, no.
Okay. I'm going to say it because they said 6. So we have to go with 6. So last question is, what is visible at the bottom of the lake at the end of the movie?
Jason? I don't know.
All of the dead bodies. No. All right. So first one is Freddy Krueger's glove.
No.
The head of Pamela Voorhees, Jason's mom. A sign reading, "Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake." Or Jason's old hockey mask from the final chapter.
I'm going to say the sign.
The sign?
Because that's the only thing that makes any sense to me.
When was Freddy versus Jason?
2003. So after this. Way after this.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, if it was around that time, maybe if they knew that movie was coming up or something, and everyone would be like a head scratcher. But then when the movie came out, you know.
No, see, they did that in Jason Goes to Hell because they were like, well, now we're about to do this movie, and it's like, yeah, but it took you 10 years, didn't it?
Yeah. Which one? There's one he goes to space too, right? I did not see that.
10. That's
okay.
X.
I was like, I know I did not see that one because I was just like, what are we doing now, guys? What are we doing?
It's actually a lot of fun.
I'm sure it is, but
it's just nonsense, but I love it. It's whatever.
Sometimes, yeah, true. You gotta turn your brain off and let it happen, and I get that. That's fine. You got another perfect score.
Woo! I don't even know how I pulled that off. All right.
10 out of 10. So yeah, I don't know. I give you a billion D points.
Hooray!
That's what I do. So there you go. I think you did really well. Some of them, I think, just the ones that were phrased kind of wonky was, I think, the only ones that you missed or whatever.
Ones that wanted me to remember people's names and shit.
Yeah, like
sorry,
everyone's
I can't do
Nancy,
that all the time.
Everyone's Alice. You know,
Yeah. God damn it!
Damn it! Yeah, but there you go. How did you guys do at home? Let us know in
please.
Discord or on the Twitter if you're a big fan and would know any of them. Like me, I just stumble through and be very happy if I got any of them correct by accident. You know, I think I do
please.
too.
Just two.
Like if I were to just do it on my own, because especially when it comes to like names, I tap out. Like even if you told me the name, I probably wouldn't know. I would be like you. I'm like, just show me the face, and I'll tell you if that's the right person or not. But I'm not. Mm-mm.
And hey, I can remember names and other things like that, all right? And I know some of the character names within this franchise, but the counselors and the body fodder, it's a little difficult to keep up with certain people.
And especially when it's gone on this long. You know, like
I can remember the final girl. I'm sorry. At least I can do that.
I think you're supposed to, right?
Yeah. If I can do that, I mean, that's pretty good, right?
I think so. I wouldn't still remember them either. But yeah, so there you go. Congratulations. You did well. You did well.
Got all the points. So, siblings, did you get all the billion D points that I did? Because I remembered stuff and forgot other things.
Brain good. Brain
good good today. Brain did really good. Good boy.
Good job braining. Good.
Job for you. So let us know on social media at Super Mega Crash how you did with these quizzes. If you followed along with these quizzes, or maybe you even played them yourselves on whatever websites. If you even know of a better one, let Lace know and she can send it over to me and then we can do that.
I was poking around on fun trivia.
So you can do that at Super Mega Crash on social media or send us an email at supermegacrash@gmail.com. You can support the show on Patreon. You can leave us a 5-star review to help us rise in the podcasting ranks and keep up with all things over at pencilpaperproductions.com/supermegacrash. Links are in the show notes down below. Join us again next week, siblings. But until then, watch out for Jason and those quizzes and go beyond your limits.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.